With over 10 years of innovation in mirrorless camera design, Sony is the #1 selling mirrorless camera brand. So let's face the facts. Sony is the #1 undisputed heavyweight champ. That's right, I said it. So in this video, I'm going to tell you my top reasons to pick a Sony camera in 2022. When you get a Sony camera, you're getting the best of the balance when it comes to affordability, quality, and functionality. Basically, you're getting the best bang for your buck. Number 1, these cameras are feature rich. Because Sony cameras are very feature rich. Where other camera brands, you're paying a little bit, but you're not getting the full experience. You're not getting all the features. They might charge a little bit more. Yes, Sony cameras are a little bit more on the pricier end, but they pack a whole lot of features into each and every camera, which is why I choose Sony, because feature-rich cameras, you're getting the best bang for your buck, like I said. Bottom line, you get what you pay for. You want a cheap little box camera that you get from Sam's Club or Costco, which I call them the Costco photographers, yeah, you might be paying $500 for a camera, a lens, and a bigger lens, and a camera bag, and a tripod, but you're not getting all those extra features, so you get what you pay for. Number 2, hybrid and focused full frame cameras. When it comes to Sony cameras, I love what Sony has done, whereas the other camera brands, they have a succession line, camera 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they try to cram everything into one camera, maybe a little bit more in video, a little bit less in photo, just a little bit, but then you run into overheating problems, other kind of problems. I'm sure you know which cameras I'm talking about. But with Sony cameras, they're smart. You have your A7 line, which is your foundation full frame camera. Can't go wrong with that. Best bang for the buck. And the A7 III for the longest time is Sony's #1 selling mirrorless camera. Hands down, #1. Then you branch off, well, now they have the A7 IV, which in time, that will be the #1 selling, guarantee it. Then you branch off. Now say, you start off with your A7 line, which is your foundation full frame camera. Moving on into the R series, the S series, and the 9 series, resolution cameras tend to have a higher megapixel count, which is perfect for photography, where for video, it can be done, but it's not ideal. Whereas when you get to the S series, like the S3 and the FX3, their megapixel count is really low, like around 12.1 if I'm not mistaken. But they're not the greatest cameras for photography, being that low megapixel count. But where they shine is you could pretty much shoot in the dark. You're getting that dual native ISO with the S3 and FX3. And let me tell you, it's an amazing it's an amazing thing when you can actually shoot with that, because you're basically shooting in the dark. Then you move on up to the flagship A1 cameras. Now, this is the best of the best. It basically combines the R series top of the line and the S series top of the line, which pretty much means at the other end of the spectrum, you get in the A7 line, which is the foundation. It does great video and great photo for the foundation camera. It can do a lot of things, whereas when you go into the R, S, and 9, the 9 camera is very, very fast for sports photography. So let me jump back into it. So the A7 line is your foundation line. Then you choose where you want to go. You want to split off into photography, video, or sports. But then when you come to the A1, you're coming back to the top, and it combines all of them for the best of the best, which is why the A1 is Sony's flagship camera. Number 3, revolutionary autofocus. Sony's real-time eye autofocus and tracking system, hands down, best autofocus you can get on a mirrorless camera right now. I don't care what the competition says. That's what I say, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people will agree with me. For the longest time, the other camera brand had dual pixel autofocus, where it was really, really good. But now, I think Sony took the ball. They had the ball in their court, now Sony's got the ball in their court. And I don't really trust any other camera brand to do the autofocus the same as these Sony cameras can. But I feel like Sony, they mastered the art of autofocus. And let me tell you this, when I shoot photography with this AI, eye autofocus, real-time tracking. I actually tried recently to do a photo session, and I tried for the life of me to get a shot out of focus. Now, out of about 100, 200 photos of this session, the eyes were only out of focus like 2 or 3 times. Like, I tried my hardest to get it out of focus, but every shot pretty much nailed it. Number 4, low light and dynamic range. And when it comes to the dynamic range of these Sony cameras, at 15 stops, I can't even stress how different this is from shooting on the other cameras of the past. I've had blown out highlights, I've had shadows that look too dark, and I was able to pull the highlights down and the shadows up, and I was able to recover stuff that I didn't think was recoverable. And when it comes to video with these cameras, especially the FX3 and the S3, having dual native ISO at 640 and 12,800. Now let me tell you, usually, 640, your ISO is clean. The higher you go, the ISO kind of gets noisier and noisier and noisier until it's unusable. But when you get to 12,800, it's just as clean as 640, if not cleaner. Which I don't understand the sorcery going behind this in the Sony cameras. I'm baffled. All I could say is it makes shooting wedding receptions and at night stuff, especially like those send-offs with the sparklers on the way out, it's amazing. You can shoot in the dark. Number 5, the quality of lens selection. So Sony is closing in on 70 plus lenses for their mirrorless camera system. And each camera has an E-mount system, which Sony said they are sticking with for their full-frame cameras, which means you can take any lens that you buy and put it on any camera that you want forever. That whole statement where marry your lens, date your body, that really applies. Well, now Sony decided they wanted to start releasing version 2 of some of these lenses. Thank you, Sony. Now I gotta buy the same lens that I didn't think I was gonna need to buy again twice, although it is improved and the autofocus and everything is faster on it. But thanks, appreciate that, Sony. Thank you very much. Number 6, custom menu and button functions. The main thing that I really love, especially on this A7 IV, is the programmable dial, where you have 3 custom settings and you can switch between those 3 custom settings for photo or video with 1 click. No more going into menu button, scroll down, mode, dial, photo, no more of that. As well as the menu system in these cameras, especially the Sony cameras, how many times are you going through these menus and you're like, well, that one's grayed out, I don't need that because that is photo related and I'm shooting video, or I'm shooting photo and that's a video. Whether you have photo or video selected in these Sony cameras, if you have photo selected, all the video items aren't there. If you're shooting video, all the photo items aren't there. I don't know why other cameras aren't doing that. I don't know. It makes no sense. Well, it makes perfect sense to do it this way. I just don't understand why other cameras aren't doing that. But at first, the menu system can seem quite confusing. You see all these different menus, all these little sub-menus and subcategories. Yes, in a way, the Sony menu system can look intimidating. But let me tell you, with their custom My Menu favorite section, you basically take any of the ones that you already use, the main menu features you already use, and you put them into these little My Menu folders. So now you can just click My Menu Start, and then all the ones that you use are right there. As well as a function menu on the bottom of the camera screen. You just press the function, so you have, I think it's 5 on top and 5 on bottom, or it's 6 on top, 6 on bottom, I don't remember. As well as all of the custom buttons scattered all over the camera. The C1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, if there's 5 or 6, I don't know. There's a lot. So you have all those custom function buttons as well. And on the A7 IV, that pesky, annoying little exposure bracketing thing that nobody ever used but everybody always touches, now that's actually customizable. For me, I have the aperture dial, the shutter dial, and the white balance dial on top, as well as the ISO on the thumb wheel thingy. But once you have all these settings customized to your liking, it's just a flick of a button, 1, 2, or 3. You can have video set up for 24 frames a second on 1, 60 on 2, and 120 on 3. So if you just want to hop back and forth between the 2 or 3, boom, 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 click the switch, done. Same for photography. You can have one set for indoor settings, one for outdoor settings, and one for auto. The possibilities are endless. And number 7, innovation. Sony is not afraid to innovate with their camera line. They are not afraid to step on a grenade. They are not afraid to try something new. They'll put something out that they think works. Turns out maybe it doesn't work. Maybe the community isn't liking certain features. They don't want this or they want that. They're not afraid to put it out there and try it. And then what they do is they take all the feedback from the community of people like us, and then they make a new lens or a new camera body with the feedback that we gave them. They just want to see if it works, implementing new things. And then they release a new product. Maybe next year or the year after. Which brings me to my other point. Sony, they release so many cameras in one year. But the beauty of it is it's never the same camera. You might go a couple of years between seeing an A7 line or an R series or an A7C or an S3. No matter what the camera, you'll be going a couple of years without seeing a new one. But given that there's so many different types of cameras for Sony, they can release 2 or 3 a year and just keep going. Just keep going. Like you could release, I don't know, a ZV-1 Mark II or a Sony A7R5. But obviously we're not going to see an A7 V for probably at least another 4 or 5 years because the A7 IV just came out. But the A7R, that's next in line. We could be seeing an A7C II. But the point is that they'll always have something coming down the pipeline. And now, with the lenses, like I said, now they're having version 2. I wouldn't be surprised if every single G Master lens got a version 2. Which basically contradicts what I said earlier of marry your lens, date your body. Because now, those lenses that you purchased aren't there forever because now there's a better one. So yeah, again, thank you Sony for that one. Appreciate it. You make great stuff, but damn. As if I don't spend enough money. I hope these points help you to see why I feel picking a Sony camera in 2022 is the best option. The best option. I mean, I know I could be a bit of a Sony fanboy, but I'm telling you right now, I know quality when I see it. I've been shooting with cameras for a very long time. I know quality when I see it. So down below in the comments, let me know, what are your favorite features about Sony cameras? I know that everybody has their favorites. And if you're already shooting with a Sony camera, what model are you shooting with? And the big one, are you thinking more and more about buying a Sony camera now? Let me know in the description. I mean, the comment section. Oops. So if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you on the next video.